come draw with Michael Luongo. Get creative, let your ideas flow. Cowabunga, let's give it a go. Come draw with Michael Luongo. With Michael Luongo.
Alright, art lovers and Ninja Turtle fans, welcome to level 1 of drawing with me, where we're going to learn how to draw the 1980s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These are more simplified, more cartoony style Ninja Turtles back from when I was growing up. Alright, so for level 1 we're just going to work on the head. So let's start off with, let's start practicing how to draw very loose ovals. So this is just to kind of loosen up. Alright. So get real loose with it. Don't make perfect circles. Make ovals, make other ellipses. Just get real loose with it. Okay. Once you feel that you are no longer tight with your sketching, you can get right into it. So we're going to start with the cranium, or the top of the head. So we're going to basically do a upside down egg, like an oval. Okay. You can get real sketchy with it as long as you're loose. Just keep it real loose. Right? So, just one of those, excuse me. Nice and loose oval shape. You see what you got there? Let's see. Let's line it up. Alright. So zoom out a bit. You can see my work. Alright. Let's just keep it nice and loose. Alright, so for the next step, we're going to do sort of, it's another, like, you know, I guess you call it ellipses. It's going to be a hot dog or sausage shape. We're going to go right across the egg like that. Just right across it. So almost like a sausage or a baguette. Hopefully I'm not making anybody hungry. Alright, so once you go right across the egg like that, and pause this video at any time if you need some extra time to sketch it out. I don't work really with erasers all that much, simply because I know, like, I'm drawing loose and I'm just going to get darker as I solidify or commit to the lines. Okay? So now that you got your sort of hot dog shape or baguette, we're going to do an oval right here, and it's going to go sort of like middle of the sausage, middle of the egg, right here, sort of like a little ostrich egg, probably a little lower. Let's get it a little lower. So I'm ignoring these lines. These are all just sketch lines. So I'm ignoring those lines. And I'm going a little lower. So that's, and you know, if you really think you're going to get confused with your pencil lines, you can go ahead and erase it. It's no big deal. I just don't like wasting time with erasing if I'm just going to commit later to the lines that I want. It's all based on what you're comfortable with. Alright, so far so good. So pause the video at this point if you really want to compare what you have to what I have. But so far so good, right? Alright, so the next step is going to be a cylinder. So start from this side of the egg and that side of the egg, and kind of like draw two parallel lines. And this is going to be sort of like a chubby cylinder or a So we're going to do that. So it's not a straight line across. And that's not really important because we're not going to commit to that line. But this is not necessarily a straight line across. If you think of a 3D cylinder, since the top is circular like this, and you can draw in the circular top if it helps you visualize what we're working with here. Okay? Alright, so next step, we've got 2 more eggs we're going to draw. This time it's going to go from here. So sort of pick your middle, right? And then give it about an inch off from the middle, and you're going to draw another egg here. And then mirror image it and draw another egg there. Right? Egg, oval, let's call it ostrich egg, because it's not necessarily a chicken's egg. Alright, so I know we're getting a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging, but pause the video if you really need to compare. This stuff at the bottom, not even that important. It's you want the arch at the top. Right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of draw the same egg inside the other egg, sort of like you're doing like a block letter of a 0, if you remember that from elementary school, or if you're still in elementary school. Alright, so far so good. Lastly, for the eyes, because you obviously could see we're working on the eyes, you're going to do a smaller, almost like a bean. I'm not going to call this one an egg. This one's a bean. And you're going to mirror it on the other side. And it's not going to be perfect. That's fine. You know, if you go back and watch the cartoons from the 80s, they are definitely not perfect. Alright, so we're almost done. We're almost done our sketch lines. We've got a mouth to work with, and then we get to do the bow to where the bandana is tied off. At this point, I'm pretty sure you can see that we are coming close to the finished product. It's starting to look like a Ninja Turtle. And the great thing about the 80s Ninja Turtles is they're almost indistinguishable aside from the colors of their bandanas. In fact, cool fact about Ninja Turtles is the reason their bandanas are different colors is because they want to sell more toys, and you wouldn't be able to sell more than one turtle if they all looked the same. Cool fact. Alright. So, we're going to go to the mouth next. Real simple stuff. Real simple. So since this is sort of the front beak, as you probably assumed at this point, it's still part of the mouth, especially for the 80s versions of the Turtles. So what you're just going to do is continue that line and this line. You're just going to kind of continue it further up. It's like a big smile. They're usually smiling in these versions. They're very more child-friendly than the later versions are. Anyways, so now that you got this line, this sort of wide U shape, you're going to then kind of arch it off here at the edge of the cheek and the lips, where you see this a lot in cartoons, but it's just a simplified version of the ends of our lips. Alright? And then, see the bottom of our oval, or our egg? That's the bottom lip. So if you see, it's all coming together, right? That's our bottom lip. So we're going to kind of darken that up to make sure that we are committing to that line. And then we're going to just draw the rest of the mouth. So basically it's a little wider U shape. Don't go too close to the bottom of the lip. Leave a fair amount of space. I'm going to say about an inch of space. And then you're going to come down and you're going to just close that off. So big wide smile, what you normally see in the 80s Turtles. And then you don't normally see teeth. If you Google their drawings or images, not often do they have teeth. Why, I don't know, but we're just gonna commit to just a tongue. Any tongue of your design will do. Like, it's just a tongue. It's not even, as long as it's there, I guess you're fine and doesn't look like a lizard or anything like that. I think you're good to go. All right. Now, one thing I missed that you're going to see a lot in cartoon characters is there's like a shine inside their pupil. So you're going to draw a smaller ellipses or oval egg shape within the pupil. And that's going to remain white while the rest is black. Alright, so we're almost done. This is great. If you need to pause the video at this point, go right ahead, compare what you got to what I got, make any adjustments you feel like you want to make, and then, yeah, play the video and we will finish this up. Alright, so now the bow. So basically the bow is very simplified in the old 80s cartoons. They don't kind of hang down like the movies had them, or any of the newer designs. They kind of like almost like bow tie off, or they look like a leaf. So you know, you pause the video after I draw this because this might be a little bit challenging, but you know, keep at it because it like you will get it, trust me. So basically you're gonna do like a leaf shape, so almost like a teardrop, right? Can I move the page? No, perfect. All right, and then you can do like a smaller one behind it, as long as you got the one sticking out. And then obviously there's the, you know, the fold in the fabric where it's tied off, or it would be tied off here, just so you never really see it. And there you have our sketch thus far of our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, Heroes in a Half Shell. We're going to move on to inking and coloring this bad boy. And so follow along as I'm going to show you the lines that I've committed to and how it kind of all unfolds in the end. And compare yours to mine and see what any adjustments you want to make before we move forward. And you know what? Like, show me what you did in the comments, or I'll post an email address. Show me what you got. I want to see your artwork. All right. So, anyways, pause the video here. Get your coloring materials. Get your markers. Get your crayons, your pencil crayons, whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, this is all of it works. It's just all preference based. And meet me back here to color this bad boy. All right. All right, and we are back, and now we're gonna color our finished product. The camera might have moved because I have to stand up. So what I am using is, you know, a series of artist series pencil or markers. They're another one called TMNT. I don't know, I've never heard of it. They're both acrylic paint markers. You know, it's you're gonna hear me say it a lot. It's not the tools that make the artists. So I'm not gonna say go out and buy expensive markers. You can get acrylic markers at the dollar store, or just any local dollar store near you. Yeah, you know, it's not obviously there are such things as terrible tools, such as terrible markers. If you do come across that, it is unfortunate, but for the most part you will find something that will do the job. So on a spare piece of paper, I'm going to just test out our greens because I don't necessarily want to completely rely on what the lid looks like. So we have that one, we have that one, it's a little too light, and then we have this one. So I think this is the most accurate green to the 80s Turtles. No, this one's probably not even. No, definitely not. So yeah, that's they're gonna go with this green for the skin. Now, Raphael is my favorite out of the four, so I'm going to make his mask red. That seems like the best red, unless, let me try with this one. This one's also artist series, it's acrylic. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. It is a more accurate red to the color that they used for the cartoon series. So now that I've decided on the colors I want, we're gonna get to our cleanup. Alright, so we're committing to our lines. So I just want to show you like how I choose my lines that I want to keep and which ones are gonna get cut out. Once again, I'm not gonna erase, I can just color over it, right? So let's go for the snout. Remember I said it's kind of part, here we go, part of the mouth. It's gonna cover, and then we're gonna just finish off the cheeks that we made with our sausage or hot dog. And listen, I'm guilty of it myself because I have a tremor, but if you can't do straight lines or if there's little jagged, squiggly lines, don't worry about it. It's fine. If you absolutely need to correct it, go right ahead. But honestly, like, it's fine. It's no big deal. We're having fun, right? So, a trick to avoid that is always do your line towards you, towards your body, as opposed to away. Did I move the book? As opposed to away where you'll jitter a lot more. Just a small tip. Anyways, now we're going to commit to our mouth. Alright. Gonna finish up the bottom part here. So I didn't quite line it up, but that's alright. Help if I held on to my tools. Alright, and then once again, lip kind of forms later down the mouth, just to kind of show the contrast between the cheeks and the bottom of the mouth. And then you got your tongue. Alright. And now we're going to go to our eyes. And then anything that's above the snout is visible. So there we go. And now for the bandana, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna commit to the lines that form the bandana, but see where the brow is, where we did our first sort of ostrich egg? That's where we're gonna cut off, and it's gonna form the brow. Now, animation-wise, this is gonna help because then when the turtle is angry, we can lower this brow to sort of like a okay, let me show you, sort of like a angry turtle brow. And it's obviously Raphael to the T, right? So we have that, and that will be the angry turtle eye, right? So animation wise, that's what the brow was for, but it was also just sort of a way of separating the eye from the bandana. And we do the same here. And then we're gonna close off our bandana. And then we're going to close off our commit to our cranium. There we go. And then last but not least, we're going to commit to our bow. And as you can see, my tremor, flared a little bit there. But it's all right. We're still doing a good job. All right, awesome. Line work done. Time to color it in. So, take your time with this, have fun with it. The acrylic seems to be going over the black lines, which is fine. I can always redo it. It's no big deal. All right. Well, since the coloring is pretty straightforward, and you really don't need my direction when it comes to coloring, we can skip ahead to the final product and see what we get. Ready? All right, so there you have it, the finished colored product of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As you can see, I made the tongue pink, as the tongue is pink in the 80s cartoons. I also used a watercolor marker for the bow behind the front bow for two reasons. One, to show contrast that there's two bows, and one is in front of the other. And the other one to show you the difference between acrylic markers and watercolor markers. So you can see the results and kind of make your pick on which you prefer that way. So yeah, there you have it. Follow, like, and subscribe to my channel for more Draw With Me videos. And in the comment section, give me suggestions on what you would want to learn how to draw. I'm open to all sorts of ideas. All right, and I'll put in the description below my email, so you can send me your drawings, and I will showcase them in the next Draw With Me video, just to show everyone what the viewers are putting together. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, and join my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description below, and I'm going to release separate Draw With Me or how to draw videos, more advanced than these ones, on my Patreon for those who are more serious with learning how to draw, want to do full body poses and all that. So my Patreon will be in the description below, okay? And see you guys next time. All right, Ninja Vanish. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today in drawing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I hope you learned something, or at the very least I curbed your boredom for the moment. Subscribe and follow, because we're going to be creating more of these. And in the comment section, give me some ideas on the characters you want to learn how to draw. Alright? We'll see you next time. Take care, guys.